Howdy ho heads, Kurt Money here, alongside my co-host, Mrs. Columbo, pictured off screen. And we are here to talk about the newest episode of Poker Face, One Last Job, which is not only a banger of an episode, with hella heat shoutouts, but it's also very much about the ranking of Mission Impossible movies, which we just did. This is Cave Waves. Cave Waves. After last week's episode of Poker Face, I was a little worried that it was leaning too much into the cute, quirky, and quaint side of solving murders. I mean, it did have a dead body, but it was of a gerbil. R.I.P. this gerbil. And even though the gerbil's name was a reference to an all-time monster...
Wait a minute, are you telling me that the class pet's name is Joseph Gerbils?
Yeah. What?
It just felt a little light to me. And plus, like, with the bad guys being kids, we know we can't, like, punish them too much. But anyway, then I turn on this episode. And not only do we have one dead body, we've got two. Okay, there's one later on. But I was already on board right off the bat because the opening shot is of someone watching a TV that's playing Baby Driver. Great movie. I recognized it from that tune. Then John Hamm helps, of course. But also, it's a close-up on somebody turning off the motion smoothing. I mean, that is a pet peeve of all us nerds out there who know how evil that setting is to come out of the box with that on, okay?
This is exactly how Edgar Wright wants you to view his film.
The main dude, played by Sam Richardson, who's working at a big box store, writes a script about a dude working at a big box store who gets fired, so then for revenge, he robs the big box store. Okay, so that's what the script is about.
I loved it, man.
And then wouldn't you know, he gets fired in real time in the episode and then decides, hey, I'm going to rob this big box store I work at. Which I say big box because, like, it looks signage-wise like a Best Buy, but I think it's a Walmart or something of the like for a reason I'll mention later. But anyway, of course, it doesn't help that he runs into Ziggy on the way out. Ziggy of The Wire fame.
Chop, chop.
Never trust this dude. Okay, it's never going to end well.
No.
But he gets talked into robbing the store to get back at his buddy, who's like the manager, and fired him so that he could, like, get out to Hollywood, like, light a firecracker under him.
You're an asshole.
And actually, you know, I say this dude is famous from The Wire because that's, for me, that's who he is. He's forever going to be Ziggy, that POS with the giant hog from season 2 that you kind of love, but mostly get real mad at.
You.
He's also in Inside Man, another heist film that this episode shouts out, and literally, because in the opening scene, Sam Richardson's like trying to sell a TV to a guy who just wants a blender. And you see a stack of blues right there. And you've got like, Baby Driver, of course. A movie called Mobsters, which I've never seen. This is called Thief, but it's not the Thief we know and love. So I wonder if they couldn't get the rights to the art on the cover. But also on there, Tower Heist, keep walking. But Inside Man, this dude Ziggy is in Inside Man. And here he is in this ep, so that's pretty sweet.
I ain't cutting you in.
And also, look, minor gripe here. Sam Richardson like directs him over here and says, we got the 4K of Baby Driver right here. Incorrect, sir. These are all blues that we're looking at here. These are not 4Ks. But anyway, I love that they're in there and I love seeing them.
Good, honey.
Oh, and then of course, Heat gets a shot right there, which Heat plays a big part of this episode. Not just because Ziggy here hasn't seen it.
You've never seen Heat?
Until he has.
The action is the juice.
Right?
But also the end climax of this episode is straight up inspired by Heat. Like they're playing Heat on all the TV screens. And it's cinematic as hell. I'm sorry, but this shot with like the broken screen and then De Niro and Pacino and stuff, like, oh, looks so good. That was cool as hell. Even its score is popping off with some Heat vibes. Very cool. And then the guy's trying to get away with all the money and the cops are there to arrest him and he's like surrounded by a swirling tornado of dollar bills. That's very much from The Killing. Another excellent heist film.
Johnny, you've got to run.
What's the difference?
All of the heist movies they talk about in this movie are dope, except for, real talk, I don't know why Tower Heist is on the screen, okay? I remember laughing at it, but it does not breathe the same air as these other titles. Maybe that's the joke.
Oh, little seizure boy want to try to rob somebody, huh?
So next to Heat, the second most referenced heist movie is literally the Mission Impossible franchise. Like, they talk about number 1.
Mission Impossible, 1.
They talk about number 3.
We're going to use a Polaroid photo to bypass it.
They talk about ranking them. Like, it's even like the code to his locker is his ranking of the top 4 Mission Impossible movies.
Giant skyscraper, Superman power arms, original, and Philip Seymour Hoffman bad guy.
And look, I respect his ranking. I was happy to see Ghost Pros up there. You know, since my ranking, I've been dealing with a lot of yahoos who won't watch the video because they think I don't like Brian De Palma, but I do.
About a 9 on the tension scale, Rube.
Some people be hating on Ghost Pros, and I'm not here for that. Not one friggin' bit.
No.
Plus Kendall, that's the character name that Sam Richardson plays, he's got a sticker on his locker that says, "What would Ethan Hunt do?" And that's there to inspire Charlie to think like, oh, what's his code? Oh, I know. I bet it's his ranking of the Mission Impossible movies, which is so good.
Questionable order, but I will allow it.
And you know, I mean, even though I don't agree with the rankings, I respect them, okay? 3 does rule. I mean, they all rule. Except for 2 of them. Only 2 of them do not. And wait, real quick, last thing on Mission Impossible. It's so funny that this episode is about motion smoothing, turning it off and stuff. Like the dude carries a remote around with him so he can turn it off at random bars. I love that. Do you think a remote would work on every TV like that? I mean, I would do that. I thought you had to like sync it to a TV to get it to work. I'm very open to this idea. Anyway, I love that he did it. And also, Tom Cruise himself did a PSA about turning off motion smoothing with McHugh, his best bud, that was originally posted to coincide with the release of the Blu-ray for Fallout.
We'd like a moment of your time to talk to you about video interpolation.
So anyway, it's all coming together. Poker Face. So there's a lot to love in this episode, and it's not just because of all the heist movie stuff, but also rom-coms get a big shout out because there's this whole love story with Charlie and Corey Hawkins that is so powerful because one, these two got mad chemistry, okay? I love them hooking up. But it's all sad as hell because we know that Corey Hawkins is about to die. And you're wondering in that beginning, like, why isn't his drawers there? It's because he's sleeping in the store. More specifically, he was sleeping with Charlie in the store. She's like a delivery person for takeout food, and the dude at Super Safe keeps ordering from there so that he can see her every day. And her coworker Jenny is onto this. She's like, this is just like a rom-com. This is perfect. And so she helps figure out what to get him for their first date, like a present. And I love it. She has like a list written out of like, here are good things to get someone for a first date. And it was all ranked by like, this is romantic, this one. But if it's too much romantic, it leans into stalker serial killer mode. And they do a close-up on the list, and one of them is dead bird. Man, the only way to get a dead bird as a gift and crack up or love it is if someone is a huge Job fan.
No, I don't know what I expected.
But that is a stretch, dog. I mean, even that's still weird. But another rom-com move that Jenny tells her about is the leave behind. She's like, this is a classic move where you leave something behind so you have an excuse to go back and see him later after the date.
Yeah, it's called the leave behind. It's a trope, but it works.
Now, I agree that's a rom-com move, but much like so many things in my life, it makes me first think of Seinfeld.
George had this pathetic little plan to leave something behind so he could try and weasel a second date.
Really?
So I think of Seinfeld more than rom-coms, but it's a very rom-com move, and I'm here for it. Oh, and actually, there is actually a fourth genre that gets a shout-out, and that's the Christmas movie. Now look, when they started talking about is Die Hard a Christmas movie,
we got into a fist fight about whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Trust me, my eyes were friggin' rolling. Talk about a played premise. Is it or is it not a Christmas movie? I mean, I've seen that in movie theaters with like the trivia before. And come November, you'll see headlines about it. So like, I'm sure you're with me when you say that we're tired of discussing that. But Kendall doesn't think it is because there's no Santa in it.
He would claim that a true Christmas movie must feature Santa.
And I thought that was an interesting debate. Like, oh, does a movie need Santa, the real Santa, to be a Christmas movie? But then Charlie says, what about It's a Wonderful Life? There's no Santa in there.
It's A Wonderful Life. It's indisputably a Christmas movie. Nary a Santa in sight. Come on.
And that's true, and it makes me think a ton of Christmas movies don't have Santa in them. I mean, the most Christmas movie of all Christmas movies, Christmas Vacation, no Santa, all right? I mean, is there even a Santa in Bad Santa? I don't think so. Jingle All The Way, no Santas. Well, they go to the Santa workshop, and Jim Belushi's there, but he's like an evil Santa, so he doesn't count.
The North Pole, them are fighting words, partner. Put them up.
So, I mean, Kendall's, you need to have a real Santa in it to make it a Christmas movie. Boo, not having it.
You preach it to the choir right here.
Anyway, back to this romance. I love that Charlie got some. I mean, you know, she's always so busy running and on the road. I think this is the second time she's gotten to knock boots. Because there was in the first season with the Mountain Man when it was nice out, and then when it was cold and wintry, she's like, I'm out of here. So it's nice to see her get some, especially in a department store bed. Okay? I love this. I just saw this in a rewatch of 24, and Kim and her friends are having a party at a store just like this. And then I can't go any further without giving a shout out to Hide and Go Shriek, an 80s horror movie that is very mid. Okay, it's not the best, it's not the worst, but it is all about people trying to have sex in department store beds and getting killed. So, also, this bed display is when I started thinking, like, no way is this a Best Buy. Best Buy doesn't sell beds, okay? And then later, somebody makes a crack about the gun that doesn't work, and they're like, stupid Super Save gun.
Super Saver piece of shit.
I think Walmart, if they don't still sell guns, they definitely used to. And to my knowledge, I don't think Best Buy has ever sold guns. So yeah, that's why I think this is more of a Walmart.
I did not kill Bill.
This was an amazing episode of Poker Face and an amazing episode of television altogether. I mean, Rian Johnson is so good at being inspired by other stuff, but making it his own. It's really clear in this episode. And Natasha Lyonne, she really got to shine in this ep, both with like romance, being a badass, being funny. It was all working for me.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe just because it's a plot of every heist movie ever made.
And, oh, I forgot to say, in the end scene, when it's the Heat showdown, right? And Ziggy's back with an arrow through his body and because or not an arrow, freaking sword. He got stabbed with a sword. Ziggy's back to get revenge. He's trying to kill Charlie to get away with all the money. And he's chasing her down with a machine gun, and all he sees is Charlie's face on all of these monitors. And so he's shooting them, and it's like, oh, that's not her, that's fake, that's on TV, that's not her, boom, 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 boom.
Game over, psycho.
And I was reading a review of this app, and they were saying that that's like a lady from Shanghai shout out because of the mirrors and whatnot. Well, I agree with that. That's not where my head went at first. My head, of course, went to Gremlins. Okay? When Stripe is messing with Billy in the store, same kind of thing. But also because the first episode of the season had a Gremlins joke in it.
Man, they gotta stop feeding these girls after midnight.
So, I don't know. I think Brian Johnson's with me on feeling the Gremlins. And if you feel Gremlins, that means you're feeling Joe Dante. And if you're feeling Joe Dante, you know what that means. You're feeling the burbs. Oh, and speaking of the burbs, this scene from Heat that's in this episode, featuring the death of Waingro here, Waingro's in the burbs.
What is the problem here?
No problem at all.
Burbs film. So I would recommend that you watch the Burbs after this Poker Face. But if you cannot spare an extra 1 hour and 41 minutes and 20 seconds, give or take, based on the version you're watching, then at least do me this favor before you go to bed tonight. Recognize to Bitboat. That's all I ask. I know I do it. I know the missus does it. We're doing it daily, and you should too. So please, please recognize to Bitboat.